Boker Tov, Yom Tov, Zarim Tovim, and Laila Tov. Good morning, good day, good afternoon, and good evening. This is Carrie. I have just a few minutes before I have my weekly date with my friend Regina, and I just wanted to share a couple things before I go into that meeting. Some things that I've been looking at. And I also was wanting to provide an answer to someone that asked me a question on Facebook about resources that I could point them in the direction of that would be helpful for them to be able to learn the languages. So, in the description box, I have put the resources that I am using, but I also gave a website, Ancient Hebrew Resource Center by Jeff Benner. There's a whole lot of information on the basic paleo meanings of the Hebrew letters that you can search for on your own, which is really what Ken and I did when we first started on our journey. And so I wanted to answer the question of that because in reality, the best way to be able to connect to what we are sharing is by being able to recognize the shapes of the letters. If you can at least recognize the modern shapes of the letters and then attach their Paleo Hebrew meanings to it, then you can follow along much of what we are sharing through the letters as they begin to speak and show us the deeper meanings that have been hidden from us, so we can accurately be able to take this information and apply it to our life and our journey, our spiritual maturation, because it is a step by step process that unveils itself. And really, you will see that more if you choose to enter into the language. But what I didn't want to focus the whole time on talking about this. And I'll see if anybody joins me here. If not, I'll just be talking to myself and you guys can watch this replay later. Because really, I don't need to hear myself speak. I'm just sharing information. And what you do with it is whatever spirit tells you to do with it, because that's what's most important. And again, I'm sharing information. I don't want to ever be telling you anything. So when I bring forth things in the language, you can go and look these things up for yourself to validate what the letters are saying and whatnot. And I try to give clear direction as I'm sharing. But what I wanted to talk about for just a few minutes before we go any further, actually, the whole reason why I wanted to share today is I was thinking about the words thank you and you're welcome. There's being thankful and having a heart of gratitude is very empowering. The feelings, when we connect to them at the heart level, have a very strong foundation in love. And because it has a strong foundation in love, it really is about respect and about honoring that which has been given to us, honoring the people that are around us, honoring the gifts that are being given to us, whether they manifest in our life. Well, they manifest in lots of different ways. But when we have a heart of gratitude, it actually does something really profound. And the reason why I wanted to share this is I'm not really going to dig too deep as far as the letter by letter, and who knows, maybe I will. But I did break down a little bit of these words because when you begin to dig them out in the Hebrew and the Aramaic and see what they're really sharing with us, you can see how much was limited or left out from us being able to completely bring these within us, because the letters are of light. Light is information. The more light you have, the more ability you get to heal your wounds, your shadow side. And so that's what's so beautiful about it. Why do I study? Because of what I just said. The more I study, the more I dig into the sacred languages, the more light comes in, the more my shadow is revealed. And honestly, I would rather have my shadow revealed in the private studying time than having it publicly aired in conversations with someone else. Does that make sense? Because you're going to get it in multiple ways. We have the mirror aspect of one another when we're in each other's space that we project upon other people. So it gives us the ability to see ourselves clearly. But in your own private time, in your own private state, when you're meditating on these languages and you're looking at them, trust me, there are things that are going to come up that are going to be in your private time of things that you're challenged with. And if you don't, well, let's just put it this way. When more light is given to you, there's more opportunity for this to come forth and manifest in your life. So if you can deal with it privately and heal those wounds, great. But if you don't, it will manifest in your reality because you begin projecting it. So you see this beautiful piece of information, this blueprint, to something that you're taking in as information, and then the test comes right away. So whether you're dealing with it on your own private time, during meditation, or any interaction that you have with anyone else, it is going to show and reflect back to you that which is not lining up to that frequency. Does that make sense? So this is why revelation is so profound. So how does this relate to thank you and you're welcome? Well, I guess I'd never really slowed down enough to see the word thank you, toda. And toda comes from the word yada. And yada has to do with your hand, the work and the deed of your hand that reveals. So when we say thank you, it's yada that has a tav added on the front. So this is really about learning things externally that mother would share. This is how we foster a safe environment. But there's something else that is really beautiful about this. Toda has a vav right in the middle. This is why when you are conversing with somebody and they say thank you, you can genuinely tell if they meant it or not. Because toda is meant to come from your heart. This is so beautiful. It's meant for your heart to be pierced. Remember that place I was sharing with you at the very beginning about that place and source of gratitude that's right here? So when you connect to your heart and you are saying thank you to somebody, here's the other side of it. It will reveal to you whether you're sincere or not, because it has to do with the heart condition. So when we are saying thank you, it's about the heart condition of the individual, because it will be revealed when you say it. That's why the hey on the suffix side will reveal your shadow or reveal that which you've worked on. That's the amazing side. It doesn't always have to be about the shadow. It has to do about the deep places that are within you, the reality of who you really are in the interaction you have with other people. So if you're coming from a place of gratitude and your heart is pierced, meaning this heart chakra has been activated, people are going to feel it. It is all about the work and the deed of our hand, of that which we do on the inside that then manifests externally. So this is really prompted based on a conversation I was witnessing on Facebook, which is a really good place to contemplate conversations and see how much shadow work still needs to be done within me. And it was a conversation about us giving gratitude to the Father. And if we are one with the Father, why do we still need to have gratitude? And I saw that and I went, oh, okay. Now with Toda, I get it. The place of gratitude comes from the inside. Yes, we are one. But where we are at in this vibrational frequency, in this density, gratitude propels us into higher revelation, hence why the hay is there. So when we have gratitude for something that is being given to us, whether it's a new revelation or somebody shared something, or you're just being grateful because, well, you can be grateful for lots of things. I don't need to go into the specifics. But when we have gratitude, it's all about connecting at the heart level. And as soon as you are doing that from the heart level, more revelation comes to you. So when I talk about being grateful to Father, it's really about that which I still do not yet know, the mystery of Father, of source, of origin. Because truly that revelation, my cat's coming up here to say hi, so I'm making room for him. Just that's the way I roll with my kitty. He's just a sweet boy, and he only likes to come up when he likes to come up. So I just give him free rein. So you're gonna have to deal with his tail swishing. But he's a happy cat right now. You just get to see his tail. Anyway, hi Ashley Costa. I really Macasta, not Costa. Sorry about that. I'm happy to see you here, friend. So the condition of our heart is going to determine when we have gratitude about how more revelation comes. So like I was talking about, the way Father works and the way I see it is that when we are giving and making gratitude towards the Father, We are really, it's this sense of reverence, and reverence means deep respect, honor and respect for that which we yet not know. And so when we had give gratitude towards Father on something, whatever it's a fresh revelation, or you're being thankful for shelter or food or a pay raise or a situation working out, or just being grateful for creation, just sitting and pondering about the beauty of creation and our part in it. Every time we lift ourselves up with gratitude, more revelation is given to us. And that's why the heart posture of being thankful is so incredible. It's not, and the reason why I was looking at this is because, when I was a child, man, this was like beaten into my head. You say please, you say thank you, you're welcome. This was something that my family was going to make sure that I understood. So really, it was about following rules. It really wasn't about the heart connect. And so now, as I'm marching on to 50 years old, I'm looking at this going, wow, man, if we could have just been explained what the word thank you was all about, because it's the heart connect that makes the revelation come. So I was taught to say thank you and please and you're welcome because it was what I was instructed to do, not at the heart level of why we do it. So again, this is because the tav is added on the suffix of yada, the work and deed of your hand, that reveals. Hi Lou, really good to see you. Hola. Oh, okay. Thanks, Ashley, for helping me with that. I laugh at myself. Hopefully you forgive me on that. How about I just call you Ashley and then I'm safe that way, my beautiful friend. And yeah, I saw, Lou, that I knew you meant fam. Actually, I saw fam instead of fam. So getting back to, yes, it is a cat. I'm making room for my cat because he doesn't come and visit me all that often. When he wants to come up and say hi, I give him room because he's very independent, but he's extremely loving. So yes, he's sitting on my lap while I'm talking to you guys because I think he's attracted to the energy and the frequency, because my heart is really full right now trying to connect with you guys. So that's my baby. His name is Tikva, which is the Hebrew word for hope, and he's a Norwegian forest cat, and he's 25 pounds. When he lands on you in the middle of the night, you know it. Anyway, so let's get back to this. So when I was taught about the please and the thanks yous and you're welcome, it was more as that's what I needed to do or else I was going to get in trouble. My parents were wanting to foster a environment where we respected one another, but I never really understood about the connecting at the heart level. Again, it was what I was conditioned to do, but not from generating from the heart. So when it has the tav added to the front of it, yes, he's a huge cat. He's a freaking monster. There he is. There's my big baby. Yeah, he's huge. It's almost like Mancoon. He's so big. So when we have a tav that's added in front of this word yada, what is this? This is Mother's covenant. This is her frequency signature. And because the vav is at the heart level, is Mother is saying, you got it. It's actually means a fingerprint. So I always see the thumbs up, right? You got it. Good job. So you're marked with her frequency because you took that which was taught and you connected at the heart level. And when you do that, this is the beautiful thing. When you do that and you are connected at the heart level and he's really happy. When you connect at the heart level, this allows you to receive revelation from the Father's teaching, that esoteric side instead of exoteric, that actually reveals more treasures of who you are, because Thanksgiving is the catalyst that drives you into the deeper things because you've manifested it. And it's the work and the deed of your hand. In fact, when we even trace it down to its root, it's an extension of the hand. How beautiful is that? It's the extension of the hand. So you're giving the extension of yourself. And it has usually is connected to adoration. But you're going to love this. Specifically, it's a choir of worshipers. Because, so think about this. Why do we worship? Why do we worship? Why does anybody go and sing songs? Because And why do we raise our hands while we worship? Because it's an extension of our heart so that we can receive greater revelation that is coming through to us. And the primitive root of this is to hold out the hand, to throw a stone or an arrow at or away, especially to revere or worship with extended hands. Revere is just a word that, hey buddy, yeah, I love you too. Revere is a word that means deep respect and honor. So I think that's beautiful. And okay, buddy, I really wanted to share that with you guys. Tikva's really liking this subject too. Apparently he's getting hair all over me. He wants to be in the action too, which is fine. He's a beautiful cat. So let's move into the word. Let's move into the word bevakasha. Bevakasha is the Hebrew word that means thank you. And you guys might find this interesting. The primitive root, so all the Hebrew and Aramaic words come down to a basic root, and this root is static. It's full of potential, but it hasn't activated. So there's frequencies that are within these letters that are waiting to be activated, and we need to do something with them. So bevakasha, the root of it is bakash, and listen to this. It is a primitive root that means to search out by any method, specifically in worship or prayer. And by implication, to strive after. So this is an act of us searching out. So this is connected to worship, which is connected to the word Torah that we just explained. I love that. So this isn't like an automatic response, something that comes out of worship and prayer. Wow. That changes a lot. So when we're grateful to our parents, or we're grateful to another person or something that they've done, and we want to express thanks, it's actually about honoring and having deep respect for one another and that which is being brought, because we're connecting at the heart level. My heart is connected at the heart level to your, whoa, sorry about that. Hey buddy, you can't be ruining the camera time. I thought it was a good idea to have him sit on my lap, but you know, cats, what are you going to do with them? They're their own unique entities. Haven't figured out how to train this one yet. In fact, I think he trains us. I think he rules the house. Anyway, so what this, now I got hair all over my face. So what this is connected to is connecting at our heart level. And it's connecting to the divinity in the revering, the deep respect and honor that we have for one another. Right? So when we say thank you, or you're welcome, really. Oh, sorry. It's really more about you're welcome, not thank you. When we say you're welcome, it is because something was being sought after and something was given from the heart level. So it was really please and thank you, and you're welcome. Anyway, sorry about this. I wish I wouldn't have had the cat rubbing on my face now. I'll try to leave my face alone. So the response in bevakasha is an inside response, because it really has an additional bet added on the front of it. And it's two bets side by side. And it's beautiful because you can see one that is filled with the dagesh and one that isn't. And the one that's filled with the dagesh is the one that's activating it. And when it's filled with the dagesh, it's actually the divine feminine and the divine masculine that are coming together to create something on the inside. So this is like an automatic response from the divine masculine and feminine that is responding on the inside, because it's coming from the place of compressing light and compressing dark and finding the narrow path in between and getting the fire within, and a hay is added to it. So every time you see the hay added to it, the response, that which we are doing, is giving us more revelation so that we can heal. Once we say, please, or thank you, and you're welcome, these responses are to reveal something within us at our heart level on the inside. And with bevakasha, as a welcome, you're welcome, we are expressing it from the inside of us, our divine masculine and feminine, because there was something that was gifted to us. And in the gifting, it actually reveals the condition of you. Are you wounded? Are you not? Thank you, Paul. Toda rabba. Bevakasha. Bevakasha. So the response is just as important as the thank you and you're welcome. They go hand in hand. Literally. That's literally about hand and worship and reverence and respect and honor. So this is an amazing concept for us to really understand that thank you and gratitude is so pivotal. It is so pivotal for our own healing, because really the gratitude, we need to be grateful for all things. And it isn't just, I'm doing it just because it's the right thing to do. We're doing it because it's coming from our heart, in honor, in respect, in great reverence, deep respect and honor. But just equally important is bevakasha, because your response that is coming from the inside is also going to reveal something from you. Have you been compressing light? Do you have the fire within? Because really the fire within is coming from a place also at the heart, because that sheen is right here, that fire from the compressing of light and dark in the circle of time. It's uniting the light and the dark, because it's really easy to stay on the light side. Mother's teaching is really quite simple for us to deal with, our external, the exoteric side. It's very simple because it's really based like on the golden rule. And I think that's the easiest. The hard work is the esoteric side that is being revealed to us in our shadow. And what are we doing with our shadow? But when you connect at the heart level, it makes everything easier. So I don't really want to say anything more than that. I know that if you see in the chat room, we've got I know who this is, but Paul Farrell Designs has sent me some information that might be very helpful. And I'm trying to figure out how I can put that out and present it to help you learn the letters a little bit better, because that was a question I had this morning. Because learning the letters, you will be able to track a little bit easier with things that Ken and I are sharing, or else it's going to be all great to you. And you can listen with your spirit, but really the letters are trying to communicate as well. It's not just me opening my mouth, because in reality, in some ways, I feel like that which I'm sharing is actually taking away from you, because the treasure lies when we jump in and we do our own work on what the languages are revealing to us, not having somebody else do it for us. Now, I will say, though, there's a time and a season where that's helpful, because that's all, yeah, buddy. Okay, thank you for leaving. I'm glad we had our time. It's good for seed planting to be able to hear that there is a message and there is a value and there's something that you can do with it. But there comes a point really when my words are actually handicapping and hindrance to your forward momentum. But it's good to get as an initial push, initial prod, to see that there is something there for you to learn. But at some point, this is when I need to begin to back off so that you can jump in. Now, I will say, if you choose to jump into the sacred languages, be forewarned. Be forewarned. The more you jump in, the more your shadow is going to be revealed. So as much as it's a beautiful discovery, It also sometimes can be terrifying at the same time. Now, I'm not saying that to put fear in you. I'm simply saying that your shadow will be revealed and you will only be able to go as far with the language as you are willing to deal with your shadow. There's no other way around it. So, if one is content to listening to the revelation, that's one thing. And there's a good chance that through someone's revelation, which is really what the Bible was all about, right? We were reading somebody else's revelation on translated work, wasn't our own. It's what they said it was, right? Because it was a man that translated it. So what we're doing now is we are taking the living word and letting it speak to us. Just like I was looking at Todah and Bevakasha and what it was speaking to me. It's like, oh my gosh, this is profound. Well, I dug those out. And not doing this thing. I'm just saying that the beautiful side of the language is that it is a living word. And it's going to reveal to you exactly what you need for the moment of where you are right now. You can go back and redo a verse 6 months later, and you will see it completely different. Now, I could say the same thing of the English version. Dang it, cat hair. Oh, he's got fuzzy hair. I can say the same thing about the English scriptures too, because it used to be that way for me when I was in Christian church. I would read it, and then I'd read the same passage 6 months later, and I began to see something differently, right? And it was called the living word. Well, it's called the living word because chaya means to be alive, to be living. That is giving the power for oneness unity. So if you get to the place where you're always being in separation, it's because there's something else that is leading you into oneness unity. And that's when I jumped into the Hebrew and Aramaic. Now, for 5 years now, I have been studying these languages. And I can tell you, when I first entered into where I'm at now, is a whole lot of difference, and it was painstaking. So, at some point, I really encourage you guys to dive in and begin take one Hebrew word. Okay, so take your basic paleo meanings, find those letters, get the paleo meanings, and take one word. And you will be shocked to see how many definitions you come up with one word. Now, another part of this that I want to share with you, and then I need to go. There is no right or wrong. That means that there is no one way to interpret the writings. Shocking. And this is where we need to be okay with that. Because if you are looking for concrete, this is the way it needs to be, you're going to miss the whole point. Because it is a living language that evolves with you and you evolve with it. It's meant to be that way. Because every step of the journey is more revelation, which is more maturation, which then allows you to see more. So when you take in light and you deal with your shadow, greater light can come so you can deal with that shadow. And it keeps taking you higher and higher and higher until healing manifests in you and you just keep going. So in one's lifetime, you cannot exhaust the message. Now, you might say, and you might be impatient, and you might listen to teachings and go, wow, you're saying the same thing over and over and over and over and over again. Well, inculcation is very important for us to really grasp a hold of this. But I really enjoy personally when I dig out scripture and I see how it's beautifully phrased to touch your heart. But again, language, words of affirmation are my love language. So when I see all of the writings, they are a love letter to me. I would love them to be a love letter to you, but sometimes patience or impatience gets in the way. And this may not be for you, and that's okay. It is my job, and what I'm planning on doing is this fall, bringing you the teachings so that you can begin to excavate these scriptures out for yourself. I want everyone to be able to do this who wants to do this, because that frees me up. I would love to have a channel open up where all of you, or a group or something like that, where we are coming in and each one of us are sharing our revelations, because we'll have some crossover. But could you imagine that? Could you imagine coming together as a group? For those of you who the language is calling, if it's not calling you, then don't even bother. Just listen and take in the information, because if it's not calling you, you're going to find much frustration. And if it's calling you, then you're going to push past the frustration until you can dig it out. Because I'm telling you, it's there. It's there. Everybody can do this. It's whether or not it's really calling to you, because you may have another path that you need to go down. And the Spirit's going, this isn't for you, and that's okay. So when you get in, you have to push through it. But again, imagine having a group where, let's say we decide to dig out one scripture, and maybe we come together once a week, and you get to share what you saw, and then another person gets to share what they saw. Imagine how much fullness in exchanging with one another, the light that we are seeing in coming together to share. That is really my dream. That is what I would love more than anything else, because it's not about me. It's not about my revelation. It's not about my interpretation, nor Ken's, because really we're still seeing from a limited perspective, and guaranteed 6 months from now, I am going to see differently than I see today, because it's meant to raise us up so that we can continue to grow and continue to grow and never, ever get stagnant. I don't ever want to be stagnant. My joy is discovery, as well as I'm sure yours is. It's all about discovering the new things in the writings, what is being revealed, the part of me that is still hidden, the part of Father, Source, Abba that is hidden, and then revealed in the places where we are coming one. It's the revealing of us. That's what it is. The fullness of the revealing of us, the mystery of who we are, and the mystery of who Source is, and us entering into this beautiful place of oneness, one revelation at a time. So I hope that helps. Like I said, in the description box, you will see some places for resources to start. I point everybody to Jeff Benner's Ancient Hebrew Resource Center. You can go to many different websites. You will see that there's many places to go. My only caution is that you can get sucked into places that have a lot of religion attached to it. My heart is to detach ourselves from religion and just let the purity and the innocence of the letters speak to us instead of binding us, that the truth and the light and the love that they are would be that which sets us free, not returns us back to bondage. Hence why this is not a new religion. I will have nothing to do with that. I would run the other way. If this started pointing me to a religion, I would drop it and walk away. And Lou, I love that. Yeah, exactly. That which has been hidden, I get it, because it's these hidden teachings that have kept us, by us not diving into those hidden teachings, which would be considered dark. They're hidden in the dark for a reason, because it's waiting for us to spiritually mature to take our light into it so it can be illuminated and revealed to us. And that's my heart as well. And that's what the sacred languages do. And I would just enjoy you to continue being on this journey with us, because this is an incredible opportunity, and we're getting to see it now, because now is the time. So I hope this was a little bit good for you, talking about thank you and you're welcome, and the place of the heart and resources. And I will be probably doing another little video tomorrow. Brandon and I are planning on meeting together again on Saturday at 10:30 in the morning, Pacific Standard Time, and I will have my Zoom meeting at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and we invite you guys to join. So until then, until I see you again, shalom, shalom, and namaste.